South America's premier domestic competition is set for a thrilling conclusion, with Atletico Mineiro taking on Botafogo in an all-Brazilian affair in the final of the 2024 Copa Libertadores. So, who will be crowned the continent's best club?
Hello and welcome to Football Now from Al Bidder Park in Doha. Anticipation is rising for the final of the 2024 Copa Libertadores between two Brazilian sides, Atletico Mineiro and Botafogo. Being crowned continental champions is on the line, as is qualification for both the 2024 FIFA Intercontinental Cup, which is being hosted here in Doha next month, and the brand new 2025 FIFA Club World Cup. So just how much does this tournament mean to both supporters of these teams, as well as South American football in general?
Well, this is South America's Champions League, and South America is one of the two big continents of football. There's no World Cup in 1930 without the South American contribution. South America has the team that's won the World Cup most times, and it has the current champions of the World Cup. So from a South American perspective, they bitterly resent the fact that they can't just go straight to a game against the European champions, that they've got to play teams from other confederations first. In Europe, winning the Champions League is an end in itself. In South America, winning the Libertadores is a very, very big deal, but it also opens the gates to paradise, the chance to fight for the title of being the best club side in the world. That plays very, very big over here.
Let's take a look at both teams then, and just what it took for them to both reach the final. Atletico Mineiro are bidding to win just their second Copa Libertadores after their maiden success back in 2013.
Mineiro topped the strong group, featuring Uruguayan giant Peñarol, and scored the most goals of any team in the early stages. After seeing off Argentina's San Lorenzo in the round of 16, they beat fellow Brazilian heavyweights Fluminense in the quarter-finals, before securing their place in the decider with a 3-0 win over Argentine champions River Plate.
They've been incredibly impressive, and what people who don't watch South American football need to realise is there's games almost 3 or 4 days, so whether it's the league, whether it's the Copa Libertadores, whether it's Copa do Brazil. So where Mineiro haven't performed particularly well in the league, they've made 2 finals, Copa do Brazil final and also now Copa Libertadores finals. I think a lot of people will be looking at Hulk and be surprised that he's still going. He's been phenomenal in the league with Paulinho, and the addition of Davison has been unbelievable. He scored the brace against Fluminense in the quarterfinals. He scored a brace against River Plate. A lot of attention will be on Hulk because of his name and his career, but it really is going to be Davison who could be the difference for Mineiro in this final.
After only winning promotion from Serie B back in the 2021-22 season, Botafogo have enjoyed a meteoric rise up the ranks to become one of Brazil's best teams. So could the fairy tale be complete here by them lifting their first ever Copa Libertadores?
Entering in the early qualifying stages of the tournament, Botafogo have had a much tougher path to the final than their opponents. Seeded 14th out of the remaining teams in the round of 16, they then overcame 2 Brazilian heavyweights. First was Palmeiras, and then they squeezed past Sao Paulo on penalties. They secured their spot in the final with a comprehensive 6-3 semi-final win on aggregate over Uruguay's Peñarol.
Botafogo are currently leading this year's Serie A and should have won the league title last season if it wasn't for a remarkable collapse towards the end of the campaign. Leading the table by 14 points at the halfway mark, they failed to win any of their last 11 games and fell to 5th in the table. So could winning this year's Copa go some way to erasing the heartbreak of last season?
It's been a roller coaster. What happened last season, and whatever's going to happen this year is yet to be written. Coming from the stand and the fans, there is that kind of like, oh man, is it going to happen again? But I don't think it's something on the player's mind. I think it just serves as a reminder of this is what happened to that squad, but we're a different mindset. So much so that our performance this year is already better than the performance that it was last year. And by this time last year, the collapse was already underway. Botafogo started at the qualifying stages for the Libertadores, so we weren't even in the group stage. And then we just started winning. Botafogo played a total of 11 Libertadores titles. Sao Paulo has won some, Nacional has won some, Palmeiras has won some. We didn't even think we were going to make it to the group stage, and here we are in the final. So I rate our chances very good, but I think we can win it, yeah.
Now, since 2019, the final of the Copa Libertadores has been played on neutral ground. And this year, the venue is the Estadio Monumental in Argentina, the home of River Plate and some 2,000 kilometres away from both sets of fans. So, how will this affect the atmosphere? And is there a growing concern that future tournaments could be played outside of South America?
I think there is an entirely legitimate concern that this is going to happen with the Libertadores. You mentioned there the Copa America. We've now had 2 inside the last 10 years in the United States. It makes even more sense to do this with the club game than it does with national teams. So one possible solution is on a kind of tournament basis, almost certainly in the United States. There's a real problem now for the Libertadores, and that is that the Brazilians have become so much better than the rest that it would seem that the Pan-American solution is the only solution to keeping it interesting.
It's set to be another thrilling final in South America. Let us know who you think will be crowned continental champions using the hashtag #FootballNow Copa Libertadores. That's all we've got time for here from Al Bidder Park in Doha. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.